Ladies and gentlemen, at a time when our forces is on a hot pursuit, avenging this coward Pakistani terror attack, political parties are now busy scoring petty political points. Can you essentially blame the Modi government for the state policy of Pakistan? And mind you, the only policy that Pakistan has wholeheartedly nurtured since its creation is to breed terrorists and give them cover fire as they attempt to infiltrate. Can you blame the Modi government when Pakistan stands on one leg to defend the likes of 2611 mastermind Hafiz Saeed? Can you blame the Modi government when Pakistan helps Hafiz Saeed to float a political party and gives them a free run? And for those who have once again upped the rhetoric about abrogation of Article 370, here's a reality check. 25,000 crore investment project has been executed in the Kashmir Valley. Stone pelting is down to zero. Organized hartals is down to zero, and terror recruitment is down from 199 in 2018 to 12 in 2023. And if you're wondering why Poonch and Rajouri sectors are seeing an uptick in terror-related activities, ladies and gentlemen, Kashmir is too hot for Pakistan to make a strong statement on its relevance and capability to calibrate both issues that are important to Pakistan's doctrine of proxy hybrid war. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the debate number one. And then we have also two other debates lined up for you. Debate number one, forces on all-out mission to wipe out Pakistan cowards, but India at it again politicizes the martyrdom of our braves. That's debate number one. Indian Neta remains defiant, repeats insult to Vice President. India continues to back shameful mocking, debating at 10 p.m. Big twist in News Click scandal investigation. Accused Amit Chakravarti now wants to turn approver. That's debate number three. Ladies and gentlemen, even before the mortal remains of the Poonch martyrs have reached their homes, the opposition's politics has begun over the issue. This isn't the first time politics has been played over the bravery of our forces, and perhaps it won't be the last. Perhaps, unfortunately, this is going to continue, especially given the fact that this is also an election season. But should the topic not be sacrosanct? When will opposition's politics rise above the issue? Here are the developments, and then we begin the debate.
The last post. A final salute. Punctuating the numbness of the final farewell. Equally discordant as gunshots among sobs is the sound of politics over the encounter. Even before the remains of our heroes reached their grieving families, politics began. The first to play politics over the issue was Uddhav Sena's Sanjay Raut.
कल का जो पूंछ में हमला हुआ है, ये एक प्रकार से रिपीट ऑफ पुलवामा है। पुलवामा में इसी प्रकार से हमला हुआ था। सरकार सो रही थी, आज भी सरकार सो रही है।
Mehbooba Mufti, who had once broken an alliance that her father formed with the BJP, also hit back at the center.
जम्मू कश्मीर में न जर्नलिस्ट बात कर सकते हैं, न सिविल सोसाइटी बात कर सकते हैं, न पॉलिटिशियन बात कर सकते हैं। पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर को एक जेल में तब्दील किया गया है।
Ex-Chief Minister Farooq also hit out at the center over the security situation in the Union Territory.
आतंकवाद का अगर हमने ख़त्म करना है, आतंकवाद को ख़त्म करने के लिए वो रास्ते निकालने पड़ेंगे। सिर्फ चिल्ला चिल्ला के ये कहना कि कश्मीर बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया क्योंकि टूरिस्ट आ रहे हैं, अगर एक भी टूरिस्ट शिकार हो गया तो ये टूरिज्म सेकंड में ख़त्म हो जाएगा।
AIMIM's Asaduddin Owaisi also took the opportunity to hit out at the center.
हम ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं मोदी सरकार से कि भाई आपने तो बड़े बुलंदबाज दावे किए थे कि 370 हट गया, अब कोई आतंकवादी पाकिस्तान से नहीं आकर हम हत्या नहीं करेंगे, गड़बड़ नहीं करेंगे। भाई सिलसिला ख़त्म ही नहीं हो रहा है। कश्मीरी पंडित को तकलीफ दी गई, वो कश्मीर छोड़कर जम्मू जा रहे हैं। अब हमारे ही आर्मी के 4 लोगों के लोग हत्या भी करते हैं। हत्या करने के बाद ये जो उनकी लाशों से जो हरकत करते हैं वो कंडेमनेबल है।
The question that now arises is, should the opposition rise above point scoring on issues such as terrorism? Let's debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have those who are questioning the surgical strikes. Are we to really expect that Pakistan is suddenly going to change? In fact, as I understand, the tactics have really changed. Yes, there has been a clear impact of the surgical strikes, Kishore Tiwari, and as someone who's covered internal security and the fact who closely keeps a watch on what's happening in Pakistan, remember, they are not going to change so easily. They are not going to accept the fact that perhaps breeding terrorists is not going to yield any result. That's never going to change. Tactics are going to change. General Kulkarni, just a quick response as far as those who argue that nothing will ever change, and as far as surgical strikes are concerned, they were a complete failure.
No. It is tremendous change. I would tell you, and everybody understands that. They may not comment on it or might not want to comment or say honestly speaking, whole thing has changed. There is no denying the fact. And the fact that after Balakot, the deterrence level, the Pakistanis wouldn't want to interfere unnecessarily. And that is the reason, and that's very expected. Invariably, earlier, there were a lot of times when people would say, well, aapke hukum to Delhi se aate hain, hamare hukum to hamari jeb mein hai. Now that kind of a system doesn't exist. Everybody knows that, yes, everybody can take on anywhere, at any point of time, at any time they feel that their life is threatened. So let's not say there's a sea change, and that sea change is frustrating the Pakistanis. They do not know that if in Kashmir they are not able to do anything, and that frustration is being seen now south of Pir Panjal. Now south of Pir Panjal also, just 1 minute, Shaman. There are 2 roads. One is the Mughal road that runs from Jammu Rajouri and goes via Shopia to Srinagar, and the other road goes from NH44, which everybody probably uses it, that is going from Jammu and on to Srinagar. So these 2 roads are there, and therefore south of Pir Panjal and Kashmir Valley are beautifully connected on these 2 roads, and that is one of the reasons. And the Pakistanis are doing it. The opposition or anybody for that matter, I would say it is much better to give options rather than opposing. There is no denying. It is this kind of a 2 voices, double speak, which the enemy intends to exploit. At least in issues of national security or things which are there, each one of us must come out with a better option. What is it that we can do to prevent it, rather than accusing the Prime Minister or for that matter anybody can do nothing. It is the troops on ground who have to do everything, and to which they are fully equipped. They are doing it. Yes, there will be ups and downs, but that does not mean that things have gone berserk or something like that. It takes time. The area is forested, is thick. There are people who are in connivance with the militants over there, and there are a lot of Gujjars and Bakarwals who probably will switch loyalties, and these things, kind of things happen.
Okay.
It takes time, but let us not, the political parties must stand on the same page, on the same platform, that it is highly condemnable and must come out with options which, if they can offer to be able to do away with it in south of Punjab, by all means, yes, rather than playing a ball in a manner in which the Pakistanis take advantage, and so does Hafiz Saeed and and all the other terrorists over there taking advantage of the kind of the dual speaks that occur within the country. That should not be permitted. Yeah, Shaman.
Okay, General Kulkarni, thank you very much, because I wanted this perspective to also come in, at least for those who seem to be perhaps a little reluctant to admit the fact that there has been a clear change. Let's have Adil and Shahzad on the screens right now. Adil, your boss seems to be only wondering as to how have things really changed in Kashmir Valley. Why exactly has things really changed for Kashmir Valley? Because the reality is this: it has changed. Accept it now.
Listen to your narrative setting. Go ahead and do your narrative setting without using me as a prop.
Rather everything.
Without using me as a prop.
You are asking me
Shyam Prasad Mekka, that question was for Adil. Adil, if you can hear me.
I'm asking
Adil, because AIMIM seem to be believing that Pakistani Act, the Pakistani Act should be blamed to none other than the Prime Minister. How exactly is the Prime Minister responsible for it?
आज जो घटना हुई थी पुंछ में, सबसे बड़ी बात आपको बताना चाहता हूं, 21 तारीख के बाद जब एक उसमें एक शव बिहार के भी थे, एक उसमें शव बिहार के थे, और एयरपोर्ट पर और जमुई में जहां के वो रहने वाले थे, ना बिहार सरकार का कोई मंत्री था ना केंद्र सरकार का कोई मंत्री था, जबकि भाजपा से भी दिल्ली सरकार में मंत्री है, और जमुई से सांसद जो है वो भाजपा से एलजेपी से, ना वो पहुंचे उसके घर, ना बिहार सरकार के अशोक चौधरी कैबिनेट मंत्री है, ना वो उसके घर पहुंचे। ये दोनों भाजपा की सरकार और यहां जदयू राजद की सरकार सिर्फ शहीदों का अपमान करना जानती है, शहीदों का सम्मान करना नहीं जानती है। अफसोस होता है उनके भाई का रोता बिलखता वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है कि बिहार सरकार के तरफ से भी नहीं और भारत सरकार की तरफ से भी कोई मंत्री उनके घर नहीं पहुंचा, ना एयरपोर्ट पहुंचा। क्या यही इंसानियत है? क्या यही शहीद को सम्मान देना चाहती है भाजपा जदयू राजद की सरकार? आपसे मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, पहले इस पर डिस्कस कीजिए। आखिर बिहार सरकार के मंत्री अशोक चौधरी वहां के रहने वाले हैं, लोजपा के सांसद चिराग पासवान है, गिरिराज सिंह है, रविशंकर प्रसाद है, सुशील कुमार मोदी है, सम्राट चौधरी है, इतना भाजपा के बड़े बड़े नेता है। क्यों नहीं कोई एयरपोर्ट पे गया? क्यों नहीं कोई जमुई में गया? इनको प्रोटोकॉल मिलता है, क्यों नहीं उस शहीद को उस तरीके से सम्मान मिला? आप पूछिए भाजपाइयों से, पूछिए राजद के लोगों से, पूछिए जदयू के लोगों से। और बैरिस्टर असदुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब बिल्कुल सही कहे, 370 सिर्फ इनका एक मुखौटा था। आप वहां की स्टेट असेंबली से आपने नहीं बात की, इंसाफ नहीं दिया, जिसके चलते ये मामला हो रहा है। पाकिस्तान से आप क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं, जैसा जाके क्रिकेट खिला रहे हैं अहमदाबाद में, पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेटर को ऐसा इस्तकबाल हो रहा है, लगता है कि वो घर के दामाद है। बार बार हम बोलते हैं जब तक पाकिस्तान से अमन होगा आप मत क्रिकेट खेलिए, लेकिन आप जय शाह पर सवाल नहीं उठाइएगा, आप 370 पे सवाल नहीं उठाइएगा। उस जवान
आदिल, चलिए आपने सवाल तो पूछ लिया, जवाब भी सुन लीजिए इनका। बट एक चीज मैं कहना चाहूंगा, when you're talking about the state assembly that was dissolved and thereafter you have Article 370 being abrogated, that entire matter has been completely perhaps done and dusted. The Supreme Court has weighed on it. I want Shahzad to also come in. Shahzad, the question they're asking, there is a clear insult. There was also a picture that was also doing the rounds back, if I'm not wrong, in Uttar Pradesh, when you had one of your leaders perhaps taking a picture with the victim, with the next of the kin.
Shravan ji,
how would you respond to that? He's essentially saying that it's again a prop for you.
देखिए श्रवण जी, एक बात तो इतनी अच्छी है कि जो लोग याकूब मेमन की पैरवी करते थे और जो लोग आर्मी में मुस्लिम और हिंदू का हेड काउंट करवाना चाहते थे, आज उनकी भी राजनीति इतनी सहूलियत नहीं देती है कि वो शहीदों का अपमान कर सके। और इसीलिए आज वो कह रहे हैं कि शहीदों के सम्मान में क्या क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ ये गिनवाइए। ये वो पार्टी है जिसने याकूब मेमन की पैरवी की थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की फांसी की सजा लगने के बाद। पहले तो ये बता दीजिए कि आर्मी जैसी सेकुलर इंस्टीट्यूशन में एक लौते नेता जिन्होंने हेड काउंट रिलीजियस बेसिस पर करवाने की बात है तो वो असदुद्दीन ओवैसी है। तो मुझे लगता है जो शहादत को बांटते हैं कम से कम उनको बोलने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। अब आते हैं सवाल पर। देखिए 370 पर आज शिवसेना उद्धव सेना के जो प्रतिनिधि है, उद्धव सेना ने हमारे साथ वोट किया है उसको हटाने में, परंतु कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है ये ऐतिहासिक भूल है और इसको हटाने की वजह से ही एनसी और पीडीपी कहती है कि ये तमाम आतंकवादी घटनाएं हो रही है। तो बताइए अब उद्धव सेना क्या स्टैंड लेगी? अफजल गुरु जो आतंकी था, जब उसको मौत की सजा सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सुनाई तो यहां पर बैठे कांग्रेस के नेता कुछ लोग गए जेएनयू में और जेएनयू में अफजल हम शर्मिंदा है तेरे कातिल जिंदा है के नारे के साथ खड़े हो गए। तो बताइए उद्धव सेना का क्या स्टैंड है उस पूरे घटनाक्रम पर? और मुझे लगता है कि 26/11 में जब हमला हुआ मुंबई पर, उस समय पर उद्धव सेना तो हमारे साथ थी। आपको याद है मनमोहन सिंह को फली मेजर ने कहा था प्लीज टेक एक्शन ऑन दिस टेरर कैंप्स एंड मनमोहन सिंह डिड नॉट टेक एक्शन, ही गेव मोस्ट फेवर्ड नेशन स्टेटस। अब मुझे किशोर तिवारी बता दीजिए कि क्या वो उस समय स्ट्रॉन्ग एक्शन था? क्या आप मनमोहन सिंह की उस समय की सरकार के रिस्पॉन्स से सेटिस्फाइड थे? और जो 370 को वापस लाने की बात करते हैं जो आपके आज इंडी गठबंधन में, उन पे आपका क्या स्टैंड है? किशोर तिवारी जी एक बार बोलिए, जो बोलते हैं 370 रिस्टोर होना चाहिए, तो क्या आप गलत थे?
मैं 30 सेकंड आपको जवाब देना चाहता हूं।
अरे किशोर तिवारी जी से पूछा है, एमआईएम जवाब देना चाहती है। गजब का गठबंधन है भाई, गजब का है। एमआईएम इज आंसरिंग फॉर उद्धव सेना। उद्धव सेना के क्या दिन आ चुके हैं?
एमआईएम जवाब देना चाहती है।
अरे मैं जवाब देना चाहता हूं।
नहीं मैं दूसरे बात पे आप 50 लाख
किशोर तिवारी सोच रहे क्या जवाब?
अब बताइए, किशोर तिवारी और एमआईएम का गठबंधन है।
किशोर तिवारी
महबूबा मुफ्ती के साथ सरकार बनाए, सरकार बनाए, आपको बोलने का हक है।
संजय राउत
जो अफजल गुरु का समर्थन सरकार में सत्ता के लिए आप सरकार बनाए हैं।
किशोर तिवारी 370 का हटना सही या गलत?
अरे मैं बात करना चाहता हूं ना।
अरे एमआईएम का तो कोई रोल ही नहीं है मान्यवर, आपका तो नोटा से भी कम वोट आता है। छोड़ दीजिए आप। उद्धव सेना से मेरा सवाल है 370 हटना सही या गलत?
नहीं है कि कल कांग्रेस की दलाली करते थे, आज
370 के जो बोलते हैं 70 के समाप्त करने में हम तुम्हारे साथ थे बोलिए और साथ रहेंगे कांग्रेस। लेकिन मैं कह रहा हूं शहजाद, मैं एक बात पूछना चाहता हूं आपको कि जो आपने दावे किए थे कि आतंकवाद समाप्त हो गया और वहां पे अमन और शांति है, पुंछ की घटना के बाद वो
कांग्रेस गलत
दिखती है। मैं जनरल कुलकर्णी जी का बहुत सम्मान करता हूं, लेकिन मैं पूछता हूं 370 का समाप्त करने के बाद भी हम अमन और शांति नहीं ला पाए। ये बात आपको कबूल करना पड़ेगा। आतंकवाद सर उठा रहा है, इस पर आपको बोलना पड़ेगा ना।
किशोर जी, किशोर जी, you know, one second. Your understanding.
कर रहे हैं हमारे
1 second. किशोर तिवारी, your understanding of the Article 370 abrogation.
शहादत हो रही है
किशोर जी,
और हम आपसे सवाल भी नहीं करें। ये कहाँ की राजनीति है?
किशोर जी, 1 minute, hold on. किशोर तिवारी,
बोलिए।
किशोर तिवारी, आदिल, मैं आपके पास वापस आऊंगा। एक मिनट आदिल।
कौन जाके बिरयानी खाए?
किशोर तिवारी, question that was asked to you is this: you supported Article 370. Your alliance partner does not. The reality is that you are mixing up. You really think that Article 370 was going to make Pakistan in the first place? The reason why Pakistan has changed its tactics all the way from the Kashmir Valley to Poonch Rajouri sector is also a clear reflection of what's really happening in the valley. The valley has become far more difficult. You do not have the separatist trends remaining anymore. You do not have the OGWs really working to that extent. So obviously it makes it even more difficult for them. So what's the next best option? Move to Poonch and Rajouri. Kishore Tiwari.
हाँ, मुझे कुछ आपका सवाल भी सुना नहीं आया। और एआईएम के जो प्रवक्ता है वो तो बेचारे बीजेपी की बी टीम है, लेकिन यहाँ वो ऐसा बता रहे हैं कि हमको शहीदों से कोई लेना देना नहीं। ऐसा नहीं है, यहाँ राजनीति तो बिल्कुल नहीं है। मैं कह रहा हूँ कि देश की सुरक्षा और शांति जिसके दावे जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बीजेपी करती है, वास्तविकता ऐसी नहीं है। पुंछ की घटना के बाद कुलकर्णी साहब, आपको कबूल करना पड़ेगा कि 2003 के बाद इतना बड़ा वाकया हुआ है और अभी 5वां दिन है, इंसिडेंट चल ही रहा है, गोलीबारी हो ही रही है और आतंकवादी फिर से सक्रिय है। ये देश के लिए चिंता का विषय है और विपक्ष बोल के हमको सवाल उठाने के पूरे अधिकार है, क्योंकि बीजेपी नाकाम हो रही है। अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स होनी चाहिए।
हो रहा है। आदिल, मैं आपके पास वापस आऊंगा। एक बार जनरल कुलकर्णी का जवाब तो सुन लेते हैं।
लेनी चाहिए।
Okay, Kishore Tiwari, let me get that from the veteran himself. General Kulkarni, just a quick response, and then I'll go to Shyam Prasad Mekka also. You've heard, as I predicted, this is going to come back to you again and again. That once again, the simplistic, the binary, perhaps response every time an attack of this nature takes place is that, look here, 370 has not worked, and that's the reason why terrorist activities still continue. Can you really equate both of them?
No, see, Article 370 abrogation has led to peace in the valley. There is no denying the fact. Most people say tourism is not an indicator. Of course, tourism is an indicator. You see the kind of number of people over there, safe, secure feeling, employment, infrastructure coming up. The entire response, the Kashmir Valley is resisting all these kind of militant activities. There is no denial. Yes, abrogation of Article 370 has hurt Pakistan the most, and it is for that reason that you find south of Pir Panjal, these activities have suddenly sprung up, primarily because it has been lying dogo for almost 20 years. After 2003, nothing whatsoever has happened over there, especially after the Hill.
But Shyam Prasad Mekka won't agree.
The 65 of the militants.
General Kulkarni, unfortunately,
So
Shyam Prasad Mekka would say that this is a narrative building that I'm essentially doing. Shyam Prasad Mekka, you heard the veteran saying this. Who else would know it better, Shyam Prasad Mekka? Unless you really rely on Sam Pitruda.
Seven. First of all, no, wait. See, I'm patiently waiting for 32 minutes. Okay, allow me the courtesy to finish my points. Don't jump down my throat. Okay. First point is, see, our condolences to our forces. We stand with our forces. We are not doing an investigation over a TV debate. We will let the forces do the investigation and take necessary steps. We stand with our forces. We question our government about their steps and what they are going to do about it. We are not backing off because somebody like you or our panel of guests might come and say, oh, Congress is doing politics on this. No, we are not afraid of those meaningless allegations. We will ask the questions. If the opposition can't ask questions on such an issue as this, then why is there an opposition in this country? We should be.
Ask your question, no,
and please,
ask your question.
Do not ever
your prelude
do politics as
is longer. Where is your question?
Bad thing. No, wait. I told you don't jump down my throat. Don't jump down my throat. Okay, let me finish my point. You
want me to give you a flat?
You guys talk as if politics is some sort of.
You realize this is not your political.
But politics are happening. If politics can't happen on an issue of national security, where our Jawans are being martyred and our parliament security is being breached, if the national security is not an issue for the politics, then why is there a politics in this country? You don't want any politics. First you don't want opposition, then you don't want Congress Mukt Bharat, opposition Mukt Parliament. कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए आपको, सिर्फ तानाशाही. एक राजा को इलेक्ट कर दीजिए, ये 5 साल का एक तमाशा में खत्म करो सब. यही बोल रहे हैं लोगों को. These are the ideas.
1 minute. Shehzad, 1 minute. First of all, you started on the note, Shyam Prasad Mekka, that you Shyam Prasad Mekka, for the sake of argument, yes. I have never argued all through this that you don't have the right to question the government, you don't have the right to question the BJP. Of course you do it. There's no problem. My only simple point, first of all, you mixed up two things. You want to question the government as far as the parliament security breach is concerned, please go ahead. Feel free to do it. As far as national security is concerned, where you have an external force to deal with, the question here is that politics about what? Politics over the dead bodies?
Politics over dead bodies. That's what the Prime Minister does very well.
Answers being asked of by the government. Let me now make my point.
Make a period out of it.
Let me make my point. I'll make it very quickly. What Mr. Mekka said, that you should... Mr. Mekka said... Shravan, can we...
That is what the Prime Minister...
Mr. Mekka, we seem to be having a problem with your video and we'll just get that fixed. I'll give you the chance to respond. Mr. Mekka, I'll just try and fix your line first. Your video is freezing. We'll try and fix that. Let Shehzad respond.
Look, he just now said that what is the problem if we play politics on national security? You know, when Osama bin Laden was taken out by the American special forces, it was Obama who came and made the announcement. Not one Republican got up and asked a question on it. They respected national security. But in our case, when surgical strike was announced by DGMO, not by Prime Minister Modi, not by a minister in the government, by DGMO, an army man wearing the uniform, they said, Saboot dikhao. When Balakot was announced by the forces, it was said that ye to cheel kauve mare gaye hai. This kind of security, this kind of politics that is done on national security only undermines the manobal. You know who cried for the Batla House encounter? People. It was Sonia Gandhi who cried and Mohan Chand Sharma who gave up his life. Even his martyrdom was questioned. So this kind of politics is not helpful for national security. And I have only one question. Again, I'm asking Mr. Kishore Tiwari, please tell us that those who are now saying that 370 should not have been abrogated, what do you call them?
Okay. Kishore Tiwari.
Amen.
No, we don't support such a demand. We have been advocating for a uniform civil code, and we welcome abrogation of the 370. But one thing that I want to speak, that the claim which is being made by the federal government are not realistic. This is misleading, and it has exposed after Poonch attack.
Ahmed Ayaz is also there in this.
There is a hostile situation and innocent victimization of the military forces are there. Government are accountable to such hostile attacks, and there is no peace.
Ahmed Ayaz, okay. Kishore Tiwari, only point that I want to make, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of your alliance, your alliance with the Congress party here, but I'm not too sure that with the position that you've time and again taken right now, how well does it really fall with your alliance partners, because they seem to be having more problem with the Article 370. Ahmed Ayaz, the fact of the matter is this: when Mehbooba Mufti essentially says that we are not essentially being asked, be critical of the government, we are not being allowed to, speak anything about it. You have Farooq Abdullah essentially saying that Modi has orchestrated the Pulwama attack. You have PDP's Mehbooba Mufti perhaps once again standing on one feet about those who, for the reason why Kashmir has bled for a long time.
You see, what Mehbooba is saying, of course, there may be politics also, because she is a politician, and likewise Farooq Abdullah. But there is something, which Shahzad says, me say, you say, or somebody else come and say. The ground situation itself speaks about the whole. And that last time, after Article 370 was abrogated, and then we had many incidents of target killings, despite the promises or despite the claims that after abrogation is done, 370 is abrogated, militancy will end, corruption will end, development will take place. But still, lot many target killings have taken place, and then.
Who said the bitter pill? The bitter pill. Why for everything the panacea is just 370? Who said that overnight things would have really changed? We are talking about the comparison. Comparison, if you really do before 370 was abrogated and to now, any Kashmiri would admit the fact that today the schools do not shut down just overnight. Today you don't have these organized hartals really taking place, and we all have visited Srinagar to really understand that. Yes, if there is only thing that everyone is talking about is that whether at all elections would happen or not, Shahzad, that's the question that your government had to face time and again. Now at least there is one clarity that it has to happen.
No, you're not allowed me to respond, See, this has nothing to do with the 370. 370 was there right from beginning, and the situation deteriorated only in 1990. Provision. When 370 was in place, quite before 1990, situation was all normal. So you can't relate 370 with the abnormal situation there. So far as tourists are concerned, developments are concerned, schools are there, those were normal before 1990. It was only after 90 situation deteriorated and things went bad. So 370 did not change anything. What 370 changed? After 370, that's what I was talking about. After 370, target killings have taken place. After 370, even you have seen that security forces have been ambushed in Kokarnag, and some days back in the Poonch. And yesterday, a retired police officer, an SSP rank officer, has been killed. So, do you think that situation has so changed after 370? That it has so corrected? Not at all. Situation has nothing to do with the 370. 370 was abrogated because it was on the agenda of the Bharatiya Janata Party right from beginning. Not just because of situation will improve. This is now we are trying to correlate things. Otherwise, this has nothing to do. Or let Shahzad or somebody say it was not on the agenda of 370 right from beginning.
Mr. Ahmed Ayaz lets me speak. After abrogation of Article 370 in 2018, 2018, terrorist incidents 228, in 2022 125. Net infiltration 143, today 14. Law and order situation 1767, now 50, down by 97.2%. Terror hotspot now has become a tourism hotspot. The total number of tourists was 14 lakh before 370, after 370 1.88 crores. The school enrollment has gone up by 50%. Now you have 78,000 crores of investment that has come in the last 4-5 years. Before that, in 10-15 years, there was only 15,000 crores. Today, films are being screened after 3 decades. Also, even the Shias that can today take out the Muharram Tajia, which they were not allowed to do for the last 30 years. And during this time, when he's saying it was great, Hazrat Bal Mosque was attacked, the sacred shrines of Muslims was attacked, and at that time everything was okay. Then ask him that what was the key cause? It was Islamic jihad and theology. If he's saying that it was all good as far as employment is concerned, if he's saying everything was okay and hunky-dory, that means people had stones in their hands because of some Islamic jihad problem.
It was not because of 370, that's what again we are doing a mistake. It was not because of 370. Things have so changed. Yes, it could be because of the direct central rule. It could be directly central because of the central rule.
Mr. Ayaz, you do admit that things have changed.
It is because of the direct central rule, not because of 370.
So you mean to say that it's only because...
There is an improvement in a way.
No, one second. You said direct center rule.
But not because of 370 has changed.
Direct center rule.
Because of security has been tightened, more security has been
increased. Security presence.
There is a direct central rule. That's why some sort of change is brought in. There is a strictness, there is movement restrictions, there is a lot of things happening. That's why some change is there. But still, to say that things are so improved, I don't think it is that. No, because we have seen, we are seeing every day. One incident or the other.
When we had a man called Saeed Ali Shah Gilani there, at that point in time, any hartal that was actually called, and for anyone who has been in Srinagar or the other parts also, that one single call would ensure that the entire city is shut, which essentially would mean that the business completely collapses. Today, the matter of fact is this: local people from Srinagar and from adjoining areas at least have started their own business. It's gone back, if not to the expectation that it was. It's going to take some time. How exactly are you essentially saying that? How exactly are you saying that these things have really
that
changed?
the security scenario has changed there after central rule was implemented, after the government, after the presidential, the LG and the governor has taken over. Security has changed, systems have changed, and restrictions have been done. And mostly people are arrested. There is not a single Hurriyat man out. There is not a single stone pelted out. So as such, there is nothing on the ground the way it was earlier. That's true. That nobody can say.
Okay,
but it is not because of 370 that the minds have changed, situations have changed, because of some restrictions laid down there. That's why this is all
very simplistic way. Mr. Ayaz, I understand your compulsions to negate it. But please don't do it for the sake of doing it, because at the end of the day, if, as what Kishore Tiwari says, Aman chahiye, Aman can only come in and when you make some of the radical changes, and a temporary provision had to go, finally it is gone. Adil, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
Yes. My point is that अगर सब इतना ज़्यादा कश्मीर में कश्मीर जन्नत बना हुआ है तो वहाँ इलेक्शन करा दीजिए. अगर इतना है तो जन्नत बना दीजिए. और ये देखिए कल क्या वीडियो चल रहा है. आप मीरवाइज उमर को नजरबंद किए हुए, जुमा की नमाज पढ़ने उनको नहीं दे रहे हैं. अगर इतना अमन है तो वहां चुनाव करा दीजिए. क्यों लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल के रूल में है? अगर इतना अमन है, इन्वेस्टमेंट जमीन पर कहां दिखा है?
मीरवाइज उमर फारूक के लिए आपको इतना प्यार क्यों है?
7 आदमी ने जमीन खरीदा है, कहां है?
वही मीरवाइज जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस उस तरफ से लेके आते थे.
मुफ्ती के साथ सरकार बनाने वाले कैसे सवाल कर रहे हैं?
आदिल, मीरवाइज वही इंसान है,
समर्थक के साथ सरकार बनाने वाली
बहुत बराबर
बिहार में जाकर अजहर मसूद को छोड़ने वाली भाजपा.
अगर
नरेंद्र मोदी भूल क्या 2008 में ताज के सामने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे? एनएसजी वहां पर ऑपरेशन कर रहा था, नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे. क्या देश भूल गया है क्या? प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आज तक प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद नहीं किए, और वहां पर ताज में जो इतना बड़ा हमला हुआ उसके बाद प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस मोदी कर रहे थे.
मुझे समझ में आता है कि आपको पॉलिटिक्स करना जरूरी है, पर 2-3 चीजें तो आप सोच लीजिए ना. अगर इलेक्शन करने की बात करें, पहले तो डिलिमिटेशन होनी थी.
तो दिस कंट्री
एक मिनट आदिल, आप सवाल कीजिए, शहजाद को जवाब देने दीजिए. बट एक चीज, जितने व्यूअर्स है उनको तो सच्चाई पता होना चाहिए. इलेक्शन इसलिए नहीं हो रही थी कि डिलिमिटेशन का काम चल रहा था.
तो सच्चाई
और दूसरी बात ये है कि सरकार ने साफ तरीके से सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कह दिया कि इतने तारीख तक हो जाएगा. Okay, can I just get Shyam Prasad Meka also, then you can respond to both of them. Shyam Prasad Meka, go ahead.
से पहले कराइए। अगर इतना ज्यादा अच्छा है तो चुनाव कल करवाइए, लोकसभा के साथ चुनाव करवाइए वहां।
चलिए, why don't you take both of them? Shyam Prasad Meka, 1 second. Shehzad, I just want to get Shyam Prasad Meka.
आदिल जी शांत हो जाइए।
Shyam Prasad Meka, please go ahead.
श्रवण
क्यों शांत हो गए? आपसे पूछ के शांत हो गए क्या?
श्रवण पॉइंट इज लेट्स
चलिए उनको बोलने तो दीजिए आदिल जी। श्याम प्रसाद मेका,
calm down,
प्लीज गो अहेड।
दिस इज अ ग्रेव मोमेंट।
अरे भाई बोलिए ना, चुनाव करवाइए, बोलिए कि कब चुनाव करा रहे, लोकसभा के साथ चुनाव करवाइए।
दिस इज अ ग्रेव मोमेंट, वी नीड टू आप लोग देश भर में यही करते हैं, आप बीजेपी दोनों मिलके यही कर रहे हैं, दोनों का ध्यान भटक रहा है, और राजनीतिक रोटी सेंकना बंद करो, यही इश्यूज पे कम से कम, और राजनीतिक रोटी सेंकना बंद करो। ओके, this is a grave moment, we need to stand by irrespective of
Meka, why don't you ask the question that you've been waiting to ask
and hold our government to accountable. I request the prime minister, I request the prime minister not to do the drama bazi with the bodies of the
I request the prime minister to stop the drama of giving
thank you
like this.
Thank you.
I request the Prime Minister and
Shyam Prasad Meka, the interesting thing is that 1 minute, Shehzad. All through this debate, Shyam Prasad Meka, I was really hoping that you will ask that brilliant question that you've been waiting to ask, Shehzad. If you have to ask Shehzad, General Kulkarni will actually tell you that when it comes to the modernization of our army also, there's a lot more to do. There's no doubt about the fact that we have set the ball rolling, but as someone who has kept a hawk's eye on this, General Kulkarni, you will admit, in the opposition should have actually asked more questions about what is it that we are doing in order to, perhaps augment that entire process. And those are few questions that the government will have to ask. There are more internal, details in terms of how operations are conducted. Those are questions that need to be asked. There's no doubt about it. But Shehzad, you've heard what they have to say. Give me a final response.
डिबेट में आते हैं तो पूरा पढ़ लेना चाहिए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने आदेश में जो लिखा है वो सरकार के सॉलिसिटर जनरल के स्टैंड के बाद ही लिखा है। सरकार भी ये चाहती है कि जल्द से जल्द चुनाव हो जाए, इसीलिए सितंबर 2024 तक चुनाव हो जाए। और बाय द वे, आपको शायद पता नहीं ना हो, श्रवण, दिस काइंड बी द वे।
Shyam Prasad Meka, just allow him to respond. I'll give you the chance. I'll just give you the Shyam Prasad Meka, I gave you the chance to ask him the question. Please ask him the question. Let him respond, and I'll give you the chance. Shyam Prasad Meka,
to indulge in this kind of
Shyam Prasad Meka, you can ask him the question. Let him just respond to it, then you can take another question.
By the way, perhaps they don't know that the DDC elections were held. Why didn't Abdullah and Mufti participate in those elections? Sure. By the way, the first time 3 parivars now have lost power, and it has gone to 30,000 elected officials on those elections. And by the way, please tell me that if you are so concerned about the situation in Jammu and Kashmir, please stop interrupting, Baba. I did not interrupt you. My question is only this: what is your stand when it comes to fighting terrorism? You have said that we don't want to undermine the forces. So when surgical strike was done, who demanded proof? So, it was Digvijay Singh, it was Sanjay Nirupam. So tell me, was that undermining the forces, or was that supporting the forces?
Okay.
First condemn that.
Shyam Prasad Meka, 30 seconds, a quick response. Time and again, PDP and everyone is saying that, we need to talk to Pakistan. That's the only way out. Are you also on the same page?
See, Shravan, I am not going to speak on behalf of PDP or MIM or any other party. Because you bring up India alliance.
They are your ally.
I'm not going
There is your alliance.
This is a grave national security issue. We will speak for Congress. Now, our allies, we will do that Rajniti later.
So if they are not on the same page as yours on national security, why are you allying with them? Why are you allying with a party that is not on board with your national security?
Don't do your narrative setting now.
You can ask the BJP, you can ask the question to the BJP that whether at all you're going to have any talks with Pakistan. As the External Affairs Minister said, that no longer are we going to show the other cheek. Now that's their position on national security, so be it. If you like it, you don't like it. Shyam Prasad Mekka, people are going to ask you this question, that where do you exactly stand on national security, and that's a pertinent
राजनीतिक रोटी सेकने का समय नहीं है ये.
Government, feel free. You know, you criticize the Prime Minister when he met Nawaz Sharif.
अकेला प्रधानमंत्री कर सकते हैं 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen,
राजनीति.
there is absolutely no doubt about one thing. That our forces are going to avenge these killings too. But Pakistan, remember, is not going to end this. This is going to only continue.